Thanks for clicking on the video, arm wrestling fans. The recent Engin live stream was packed with a lot of exciting information. We discussed in the previous video how Hermes jumped on a podcast to call out Morozov for a left and right-handed super match. And Engin's response to that in this live stream was that we have already seen their left-handed match. So before we see a left-handed rematch, we must see a right-handed super match between these two, and that will happen at East versus West in the future. But Engin did say that we are going to see a lot of left-handed super matches like Vitaly Lalatin versus Artem Morozov. LEVAN SAGINASHVILI will also be pulling on the left arm probably this year. And Engin is trying to set up a match for Morozov in the Orlando, Florida event, which is East versus West 14 in August. I'll say this opponent has to be Jerry Kdat. Initially, we have discussed how Artem Morozov claimed that Jerry Kdat denied the offer to pull Artem Morozov, citing that he's lower in the rankings, or maybe that was Morozov's guess why Jerry denied that match. But in US, I think that match must happen. But before that, Jerry will be pulling Vitaly Lalatin on July 6th at East versus West 13. Who else is going to be pulling at that event? Zaur Feyzulayev is making a comeback. I shouldn't say that it is a comeback because he already pulled at AMC, he already pulled at East versus West and lost to Georgy Svetkov. But this, in my opinion, will be the real comeback where Zaur is actually 100%. And the person who will be making a comeback is Evgeny Prudnik. We have high hopes from that young arm wrestler. Travis the Beast Bagent called Engin and told him that he wants to pull in both July and August event. Now that is some exciting news. Initially, Engin was saying that in August, Travis should pull Devon Larratt, and that's what he said on this podcast as well. What do you guys think about Travis versus Devon left arm in Orlando? And they're both on that poster as well. So maybe it is already confirmed, but that poster is for the Western team. So we don't really know what's going on here, but looks like as of now, this is the match that we are going to see. They have a long history together. Devon is always going to be the favorite against Travis on the left arm as well. But let's see if Travis can do something, which we will know in the July event how he does there. So from this year onwards, Engin will be trying to organize his events in all parts of the world. Asia, Europe and America. We'll see Canada as well. So East versus West 12 has already sold the highest number of pay-per-views until about 2 weeks before the pay-per-view actually starts. So right around this time, there are practically no pay-per-view sales. But this time compared to others, East versus West 12 has sold more. And the biggest reason for that is the Devon versus LEVAN match. Both of these arm wrestlers will be arriving in Istanbul on April 14. And I'll say this is the positive thing about being a full-time arm wrestler. You don't have to worry about your work. You don't have to take off time from your work for no pay or for some pay from your annual leave or whatever. Because you're a full-time arm wrestler, you can basically overcome that jet lag situation and totally get rid of that by going there a week in advance. This is a really cool thing. This is what Engin said about this match. If LEVAN tries to hold on to Devon without straps, then every time Devon slips, he will take little bit from LEVAN's freshness. This is what Engin believes happened in the LEVAN versus Hermes match as well, and that's why he got tired so quickly. Well, not so quickly, the match was kind of already over by that time, but I think we understand the point here. I don't think anyone in history except LEVAN can beat Devon Larratt in a best of 7 super match. In a tournament format, yeah, there are some people who can probably pin him. And I remember in the past saying that Engin versus Samusha match will not happen, and even if it happens, Engin will not win that super match. Not because Engin doesn't have the physical strength to beat Samusha, but because Engin is organizing this awesome East versus West event every other month almost, or every 3 months or so. And it is impossible to be an organizer at such a high level and be an athlete at such a high level. And looks like this prediction is coming true because Engin did say that looks like he will not have that David Samusha match in the future because it's not possible for him to train for that match. And there was a question for Brian Shaw, should Engin invite Brian to compete at his event or not? And of course, if Brian gets serious about arm wrestling, if he's able to win a couple of super matches against some known names, then maybe in the future. Well, Engin's response to this question was, my door is open for Brian Shaw. If he wants, he can compete at any event after East vs West 12. I would love to have Brian Shaw at East vs West. Now, some people may say, especially the Indians, that for Indian arm wrestlers, Engin say that you must be a WAF world champion to compete at East vs West, then why not for Brian Shaw? But I completely agree with Engin here. Either you should be a celebrity or you should be a world champion level arm wrestler. I think that's a fair, reasonable thing to do at a professional event which is trying to sell pay-per-views. Another great news is that Sigma male Chael Sonnen uploaded a video, a Facebook video about arm wrestling, about the Devon versus LEVAN match. In that video, he said that he also recorded a 5 to 6 minute video, which I think was a YouTube video for this East versus West Devon versus LEVAN match, but that video was never released by Chael Sonnen's producer, because he said that Chael doesn't know anything about arm wrestling, and for so many years he has believed in one thing, that you shouldn't speak too much about things that you don't know. That's what the channel preaches, and according to the producer, Chael doesn't know anything about arm wrestling. And I'll say that was kind of apparent when we were listening to him speak about the match, but still the passion shows. He is interested and he wants to learn more about this match. The least that we can and we should do, and I think if you have watched this video till now, then you may be willing to go to Chael Sonnen's Facebook page and just give him a like there to show the support and appreciation that arm wrestling fans has for anyone who tries to promote our sport and who tries to get into our sport. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.